Hey everybody, this is Julius again with Photoshop for Merch by Amazon. And normally you know that we'd be going into our merch folder and we'd be clicking on our merch start copy so we can start designing t-shirts. However, we're going to do something a little different right now because I'm working on a business card for a buddy of mine, and he just wanted something simple. He's a buddy of mine from up the street, really nice guy, and he's going to be doing snow removal and mowing next year. And again, he wanted something simple. So once we came up with the name, he said Hound Dog Lawn and Snow Maintenance. He's got a beautiful hound dog. This is where I'm at so far. So this is just short, sweet, just something functional for him to be able to hand out to folks, so they've got his name and number. And so this is where we're at. Anyway, the purpose of this is this tutorial is going to show you how to fix some different problems that people are having with font and images, where the image is staying behind the font in Photoshop. Now, just to give to everybody the information about what I'm doing here, if you do want to design a business card, it's going to be 3.75 inches wide by 2.25 inches high at 300 DPI. So that's going to be your settings. So 3.75, 2.25, and 300, 8-bit RGB transparent background. What you're going to do then is you're going to take this rulers and you're going to drag them out so that you're a 1/4 inch on this side, a 1/4 inch on this side, a 1/4 inch down from here, and a 1/4 of an inch up from here. To drag your rulers out, you just, on the move tool, grab the left click on the ruler, and then you can drag out whatever you need. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to do that is so that when you actually print this out, you can send this to a printer, not just to a printer that you have, but I mean to an actual printing company if you're going to get thousands of business cards. And you'll have the bleed set up relatively correctly. Just go ahead and contact whoever you need to talk to, and they'll advise you whatever they need. But typically, this is a good rule of thumb, and they'll be able to use it. I've never had any issues using this type of document setup. Anyway, getting back to the thing at hand, this looks cute the way that it is, but we want to add some character to it, and the character comes from where we're going to put the dog. Because right now we've got hound dog, lawn and snow maintenance. Everything is flat. We want this dog to pop. So the only way to do that is to give him the appearance of being in front, somehow in front of this font. So the way that he's sitting right now, it doesn't look very, very good, obviously, with this over top of his head. Now, a lot of people say, well, he's on the top of the layer. Maybe you need to move stuff around. And as you can see, no matter where I place him, the font's always staying in the same spot. Okay. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to delete this portion of the text. Now, this question has been asked of me more than any other question so far. So we are going to have a way more in-depth tutorial, but this is one of, I want to do this just to show you, since I'm working on it anyway, it makes sense. So what we're going to do is we need to select everything that's inside this dog. So this dog we need to select and be able to delete out just what's, this section here, from here all the way through there. So all that's going to be gone, and from here to there, and all this piece right here is going to be gone. And that's going to give the presence of the dog standing in front of everything and really make it look way better than what it is right now. So I am working with a smart object, and you know that because of this little icon that's here. That means that I can resize this dog, do whatever I want with it over and over and over again. It's never going to lose the integrity. So being really clear, this is the vector question that people have. Well, I can't work in Photoshop because I need to work in vectors. So-and-so said that that's what I need. This, using smart objects, makes it so that you can work in a non-destructive way. Leaving text layers without rasterizing them, again, makes it so you can work in a non-destructive way, because no matter how big I make this text, as soon as I apply the transformation, it's going to look phenomenal. Now, we are going to have to rasterize this line, so we're going to need to rasterize hound dog. So in order to work in a non-destructive way, we're going to right-click on this and click Duplicate Layer, and then we're going to shut the original layer off. Okay, so this layer now, this hound dog copy layer, we're going to go ahead and right-click and go rasterize. That makes it a non-editable image. So instead of having it be a text-based object, it's going to be image. And so what we can do with that now is we can work it just like an image. So I can use cut tools and selection tools in order to, manipulate this as if it was an actual image. Well, in order to get rid of this section, now that we can delete that portion, a couple different ways. Some people say just go ahead and grab your eraser tool and erase that just like that, and then fix it over here, and that looks fine. But when we zoom in on the dog, you can see that looks like crap. I mean, it just looks like garbage, and that's not what you want to do, and that's not what we're here to show you. So I'm going to hit Control-Alt-Z, and that's going to bring me back to that original state. So what we're going to do in order to do this the right way, or a very simple, easy way, but still the right way, we're going to use our magic wand. Now, if you come over here and you see your quick selection tool, you're going to want to come over here and left click on it and select magic wand. So we can't select, and we have to make sure we're also on the Hound Dog copy because we're working with this object and not the font yet. So if I click on the inside of him, you can see that's not going to work. I need to be able to have a solid line on the outside. Now I know that this image is a high resolution or high quality, I should say, PNG file. So when I click on the outside like that, you can see I've got a perfect line, really, really tight around him. Now the problem with having it selected this way is you can tell that this marching ant line is on the outside. Anything that's on the outside of this dog would get deleted. So if I come over here and I click the Hound Dog copy because I want to delete portion of it, I want to delete this portion right here. If I click on it the way that it is selected now, which I'm going to do, don't do this, but see, it deletes the wrong section. So I'm going to hit Control-Alt-Z to fix that. And then I'm going to come over here, and as you can see on my arrow, the little box next to it shows that I'm actually still working with the selection. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to come over here to select inverse and watch the dog. Boom. So instead of selecting everything on the outside, it's now put a very, very tight, beautiful line around the dog on the inside. And when I go ahead and come down to my Hound Dog copy so that I'm working now with this, I've basically moved this selection from this layer to this layer, and now when I hit delete, it's going to delete this section of the D and that section of the D, and then we're going to have that. So I'm going to hit Control-D to deselect my dog. Now look at that. It's as if this dog just magically popped out, and it just looks 1,000 times better. I mean, the dog is now the superstar of this business card, and that's really just it. Now, so many people have been asking me for this. I am going to do a really large-scale tutorial showing you how to do this and how to get everything squared away. But this is the basic. So if you need anything else, leave a comment in the below. I haven't been saying this because I've never been a fan of any of my YouTube faves saying this, but please, I understand now why. If you like this, click that like button. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. All of this is free. I love this kind of work, and I want to make sure that everybody else is successful or more successful than I've been over the years doing this. So if there's anything I can do, if you have a question, comment, concern, I want you to let me know. I'm going to set up an email so folks can email me their specific questions or ideas on the tutorials, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, hopefully this worked out well for you, and thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night.